Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Scrap Mechanic, and today I'm going to be trying to build the ultimate drift racing vehicle in Scrap Mechanic because a few weeks ago on Multiplayer Monday, we did the Spud-powered drift vehicle race in which I built this thing, and that was the most fun I've had driving a vehicle in such a long time that it inspired me to actually spend more than 15 minutes building a drift racer. Now, I'm gonna make it thruster powered instead of spud powered because the spud power is a little bit more limiting and also really annoying to listen to when you're driving around. But I'm also using this drift course that we used in a drift race a long time ago where I think we used like drills or saw blades for low friction or something. And I think the course is called the Hyperloop. But yeah, it's a pretty cool drift course that I figured would be a great place to test out a drift vehicle that I end up making. So I'm going to attempt to build this without using suspension glitch steering. Suspension glitch steering would be the easy and obvious way to turn a drift vehicle because you could turn it when it's not even like moving. But I'm going to try to build this in a way that it uses the thrust to steer instead. So the way that we make drift vehicles in Scrap Mechanic now is to use the square mesh block, which is apparently the lowest friction block and works amazing for drifting. And of course, I got to get myself some wedges. We're not going to need wheels. We're not going to need engines, I don't think. And I'm going to use thrusters for propulsion. And I'm thinking about adding a braking mechanism to this thing. And I found that the highest friction block I'm aware of is the concrete slab block, which has a friction rating of 7. And that is even higher than the ever popular cactus block that a lot of people use for friction, which is only 6 friction. I don't even think this is something I've seen in survival. I don't know if this is a block that you can currently get in survival. It might be just like a warehouse block or something that obviously you can't get blocks in the warehouse. So, all right, so let's get building. I think a healthy place to start is a low friction slab here. So I have this idea of having a single thruster in the back. The problem is I need this vehicle to be odd, but a thruster is even. So this is the method I use. I just put it on a 45-degree angle. That makes it nice and centered. And I'm gonna use some wedge blocks to contain this in a nice fancy way. All right, there we go. I spent way more time on this than I should have, but I have a thruster compartment. Now let's hook it up to the seat, put it on max power, and we got ourselves a drift vehicle. Woo! Okay, obviously there's still more work to be done. We need to be able to turn, and that would kind of be it, but I want this thing to look nice. The whole purpose was to make this thing look nice. All right, now that I'm trying to think about how to implement steering, I realized I want to change my thrust. That's how this goes. When you don't have a completely solid plan going forward, stuff ends up changing. So, and this actually solves an issue though, because now I can have 2 thrusters in the back instead of just the 1. And that just means I'm gonna have to expand what I built here, which also means deleting it. So, yay! Improvements. There we go, new thruster compartment, which should be double the force of the previous thruster compartment. Whee! All right, looking good so far. A little bit much, but that can always be fine-tuned. All right, so this is not how I'm gonna do steering. I was just testing how much room the thrusters are gonna take up if I have them facing side by side like this. So I'm gonna delete these, and this is how I'm gonna do steering. What makes this cooler and more awesome is that the thrusters are gonna like have a thing. They're gonna go in the middle, kind of like they're doing a fancy, you know. It's just gonna look better, okay? All right, I've got the turning thrusters active. All right, I've got the turning thrusters active now. So if I press left, I go left. If I press right, I go right. And there's always gonna be that cool glow in between the thrusters. And if I press both of them at the same time, they'll finally turn off. So now I officially have a functional hovercraft. Look at this. This is so cool. Oh, this is already fun. This is already so much fun. Oh man, this is amazing. This is amazing. Now it's all about making it look cool and adding some more interesting functions to this thing. It is a little top heavy right now, or skinny, I guess. Maybe I want to actually separate those thrusters in the front a little bit more. But as far as the initial prototype tests, this thing is feeling amazing. I want to add some brakes onto this thing and maybe make it somehow a little bit more stable on the ground. The really annoying thing about building with the low friction block here is I can't add any design to the actual base because that makes friction on the ground. And look, when I'm just trying to go straight, that one wedge block is doing this to me. See, I'm just pressing forward. And if I remove the wedge block, back to normal. It's amazing. The only thing wedges aren't good for. Friction. That was actually kind of cool. All right, there we go. I've separated them, which should give us more stability. And I'm also thinking about putting brakes. It makes more sense to me to put brakes in the back. And I think I have an idea about using these pipe pieces because these shouldn't interact with the ground despite being attached on the same level as the friction block. So I might be able to make like extending portions and then have this extend out to another set of friction blocks. And these are also going to add some stability. All right, so I've been working on a potential brake system here. Now check this out. This is a little bit different than something as simple as just having a piston face down and push into the ground. So I have this part here, which I think kind of looks cool on its own, almost like a side bumper for the back end. But when this piston is triggered, it actually turns it into a stopping brake. Yep, so check it out. It hooks in right underneath. I hope this is going to be okay and not be glitchy like in practice, but obviously it moves it to the left because it has that rotational motion, but when they both go at the same time, they should just essentially cancel each other out. Now, let me see if this seems to affect our ability to go at all. All right, it feels natural. It feels fine. I was just a little bit worried that those pipes might have an unseen collision, despite clearly not touching the ground, but it seems like the pipes were a good choice. I probably should have tested that before I built this whole contraption, huh? All right, so I think I built this thing completely symmetrical, so I should be able to easily mirror it to the other side without having to rebuild it. All right, let's test this out. So, if I press S, oh no, it kind of kicks me up. Maybe I can make it go. I'm gonna make it go slower. Maybe I just have it going too fast. Let's put it on 3 speed. It's not as smooth of a brake as I expected it was going to be. But man, does it actually work as a brake. You know what, there's another possibility I've been considering. That's having a different kind of brake right in the middle here that actually goes down flush with the friction blocks. But I think that should still give us some friction as long as it's flat underneath. All right, so here it is right here. The idea is that it goes right down into the slot, just like that. And it looks like it's gonna contact the ground. So let's try that as a brake now, see how that feels. Yeah, that is not nearly as effective as you can see. What if I have it go down 2 blocks at the same time as the other one, so I have like a tri-brake happening, and then everything will lift up. Oh boy, well that is certainly effective. Not the smoothest, but effective. All right, I think I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that as a combination. We have the front brake and we have the side brakes, and it lifts the entire vehicle off the ground instead of just the back. All right, now let's design this thing some more. I don't want these mechanisms completely exposed. I want to have some type of structure over here. All right, all of this went into making the brakes not an obvious brake mechanism. Now they kind of look like weird sidecar things, but I thought I did a pretty good job of just enclosing the mechanism so you can't really see it until you press the button, and then it still kind of looks cool, in my opinion. I don't know, I just wish that these pieces, these aren't very paintable pieces, but it kind of works almost like a puzzle piece. I think it sits in that pocket pretty nicely. Looks decent both deployed and not deployed, which is all that I could ask for. All right, the only thing I really don't like about these is these are more like an emergency brake than a functional brake, because these are not at all practical when it comes to slowing your speed down gradually for a turn at all. As you can see, if you want to just slow down a little bit, it's not really gonna happen. These are like, stop everything, stop right now, no more go. So it would be nice to have an actual speed control kind of brake rather than just not giving it the gas anymore. And I'm thinking about maybe being able to adapt the steering thrusters into a brake system. All right, so I've made the adjustments. So this is how I think not only is braking going to work, braking in a straight line at least, but also reverse. So if I want to slow down at all, here, let's actually get some, there's no straightaway on it. I mean, it's a drift course. There really shouldn't be a straightaway. But I'm gonna try to slow down before this turn, ready? So just like that, we can kind of slow down. When I press this back button, you can see that the thrusters in front will face forward, which will allow me not only to slow down, obviously, but go backwards as well. So it serves multiple purposes. And the cool thing about it is it doesn't really affect steering at all. Because you can see when I do this, I can still steer left and right, no problem, by turning off either of those thrusters. So this is actually working out really, really well. I was worried that the steering was going to be dramatically affected because they were no longer going to be facing the same direction. But they still are on the sides of the craft, so it still works no matter what. Okay, so now the difficult thing is building around those thrusters, trying to make this thing look nice without interfering with their ability to face forward at all. So that's gonna be the challenge now. Guys, I made a mistake. How did I do this? I deleted a single block and now the entire front of my creation is detached from the back of my creation. What happened here? I was trying to build this cool engine thing. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad, guys. Okay, I welded it back on. Apparently, I had just deleted too many necessary blocks. So now I gotta figure out how to hook all this back up. Okay, everything's back together, everything's working, and I think I finally got it in a state that I like the way it looks. I've actually added, I added so much weight to this thing that it ended up being slower than I thought was its optimal fun capacity. So I added some extra, it took a long time to figure out where to put the thrusters, but the only spot I could add some extra forward thrust, I think, was right here, and I kind of worked it into the engine block area where I have like pipes leading into the thrusters as if it means something significant. I don't know. But yeah, I did this whole front section trying to make it look cool and aesthetic. Do you guys think I added enough wedges? I hope I put enough wedges on this thing to make it cool enough. Added myself a roll bar right here, you know, just to protect my head in case I flip over. And yeah, now I have the really inconvenient task of painting this thing. And that's the big drawback of wedges, is every wedge must be individually painted. All right, here we go. All right, it's all painted up, and finally, after 2 hours, it is ready for test driving. So with the paint scheme, I tried to add some white accents and stuff into the paint scheme in order to help these 2x1 wedges look a little bit more natural, since no matter what color I paint them, they're always gonna have white on them. So hopefully adding some white into the colors, it's now red, black, and white is the color theme of this one. Hopefully that makes them look a little bit more like they belong here. But yeah, I really wish that the whole thing would just paint the color that you want it to, not the inside and like the shadows for some reason. All right, let's do some racing on this course and see how fun and easy it is to drift this thing, or fun and hard, or frustrating and easy, or frustrating and hard. There's all kinds of experiences we could have with this thing. All right, Hyperloop, prepare to meet your match. In 3, 2, 1, go! Oh boy, I gotta get used to the power of this thing. This thing is very powerful. Okay, there's a use for the brakes. If you're gonna hit your nose into something, you could push yourself back a little bit. Oh, dang it. Oh, I was hoping I could get like a run without hitting any of the walls, but it does not look like that's gonna happen just yet. Oh no, this section's, oh, there's so much speed on this section. Slow down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh. Oh man, I went way too hard into that turn. Okay, all right, that's one lap. We definitely can do better than that. All right, here we go. That was a good drift. It's so much about regulating your speed and your angle. Dang it. Man, when you hit, this thing wants to take off for some reason. Oh. Man, it's hard not to overturn sometimes. Ah, dang, I was hoping I was gonna whip my back end around on that one. All right, man, this part of the course is so sketchy with how much speed you get. No! Oh man, that corner right there, going from that corner to this corner with that rock really messes me up. I want to do a flawless run on this course. And by flawless, I just mean no contact with the edges. All right, start your engines. All right, go. going well so far. Oh, I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit anything. There was no guardrail there. There was no guardrail there. Got lucky with that. Good so far. Oh man, some of these corners are so sharp. I need like, I have my turning thrusters on maximum. I can't go any more than that. There we go. Oh, that swing around. That swing around takes a lot, but I think we have just done it. An actual flawless run right there. Oh, that was an epic drift. This is so much fun. Whoa, I was turning left and it wasn't working for some reason. That was weird. I don't think that should happen. It's logic. It's a logic connection. It's not like anything mechanical that is dependent on that, so nothing should get stuck for turning. Oh my goodness! Oh, that was so epic! Oh, slow down. Okay. This is so much fun, guys. This is so much fun. That is so cool. All right, real quick, I want to go on to just flat open land here. I really want to see what it's like on just open land. How fast can we go? Ooh. This is awesome. This is my favorite thing to do in Scrap Mechanic now. It's just drifting on the low friction blocks. Look at how much, oh no, too much speed, too much speed. There we go. These are massive, massive drifts now. All right, let's test out. Now we can test out the emergency brake. Are we ready? All right, hold on. And 3, 2, 1, brake. It's good. It is fast and efficient. And it is also stuck. Why does this happen? Watch, I bet if I put a block down, it's gonna work. Ready? Yeah, they really they need that glitch fixed, like, ASAP. All right, you know what? How does first person look in this thing? Ooh, this is nice. Oh, this is so good. I kind of want to do, oh boy, I want to do the course. I want to do the course in first person like this. Yeah, we're doing the course like this. Ooh. All right, first person. I'm so glad. I didn't even intend to have first person be like a thing with this, but it totally is. This is an excellent first person view. All right, here we go. This is gonna be so much harder now. There we go. This is so good. This is so fun. Ooh, it is so, that's the tough thing is though, is being aware of your back end. It's really difficult to really know where your back end is on this in first person. Come on, this way. Okay, we're fine. There we go, everything's good. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, going around this one now. Wow, I actually did way better than I expected in first person on that. This is awesome. All right, this right here, one of my favorite creations in Scrap Mechanic. It was worth the 2 hours that I spent on this. So I'm definitely gonna be uploading this to the workshop so you guys can use it yourself. If you're wondering what I do with my controls, if you guys don't already know, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I have mapped to T and G, so it's just like W and S. And then 3 and 4 is F and H, so it's just like A and D. And then that just makes it super easy to control with buttons. In fact, here's all of my control setups, so you can see what I've replaced some buttons with and stuff. And you can pause this at any point, so you can just see exactly what I have everything set to. And if you want to use it yourself, feel free to use it yourself. So there you go. These are the main things right here. Hotbar items, I have my alternate keys like this. So I can still use 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But I can also use TG, FH, and then I have my arrow keys up, down, left, right. and then R and Y, which is essentially like Q and E. And I think I had to replace some other things like lift up and lift down. I actually have on my mouse, so my thumb buttons do lift up and lift down, which is really, really convenient. So I hope you guys enjoyed my drift sled. It will be called ScrapMan's Drift Sled on the workshop. Let me know if you guys have fun drifting around with it. And if you want to see some more awesome content on the channel and help support me, go ahead and check out the end screen right here. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.